Welcome back to Star or Shovelware and to another game review, in which we're going to be taking a look at Dead Invaders Modern War 3D, a game whose title is just fishing for clicks and actually bears no relevance on gameplay itself. And in fact the only dead thing will be your soul after playing this one, as the regret at purchasing it seeps into your core, leaving you empty and alone to ponder your own existence. Well, it may not be quite that bad, but developer Bull T is certainly serving up some hot shite with this one, and considering their other lineup of games, I recommend they rename the studio to Bullshit T. So let's get on into it and see what's what, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and want to see more. So like many of these games, which I don't feel deserve a fully structured review, we're skipping all the niceties with this one and getting straight down to business. Now for a start, the eShop description is spouting a load of bollocks, claiming you'll be fighting through the city, killing epic enemies, living through dramatic battles against space invaders, and partaking in stunning boss fights. And in fact I believe the game itself has been created using this insect alien starter kit, or at least something very similar, but as you'll soon see, the visuals have been toned down considerably to something more manageable for both the Switch and lazy developers to handle. Now the game comes with two game modes, the first being missions, which take you on a cross-city yomp, slaying bugs as you go, with additional waves added at each stage, and the second a survival mode, unlocked after reaching level 5, which is exactly as it sounds, infinite waves of bugs with score awarded for each one you destroy. Prior to starting either of these game modes, you'll have a few settings which supposedly make the game harder or easier, and include a choice of either single or dual wielded assault rifles, a grenade with either a 30, 45 or 60 second cooldown, and then 3 different health and armour settings, giving you less life to play with. Once you're happy with these though, it's then into the gameplay, and despite it looking like a standard first person shooter, you are in fact tethered to the spot in this one, with your only controls being your left thumbstick used to aim your weapons, right trigger to fire them, and left trigger to detonate your grenade, which wipes out all surrounding enemies. Now each level consists of waves of giant bug-like creatures which spawn randomly from predefined locations, and these come in 4 different varieties, at least in the 5 levels which are completed, because to be honest things got boring as shit after the first 2, but there's very little actually setting these bugs apart. The smaller ones move more quickly and do less damage, and the larger ones move slower and do more damage, but the spawn points are limited and frequently smaller ones would get stuck behind bigger ones, so in general there's very little challenge to the game, even with all of the hardest settings selected. In fact, the hardest part about the game is how fucking slow your character turns, and I feel if anything the lack of any sensitivity options is what's likely to get you killed, as even when rocking dual assault rifles I frequently took it in the arse from a stray bug or two. Now, like I said, the number of waves you have to fight through increases by 1 each level, but aside from this, the only other things setting levels apart are the spawn locations and your surroundings, so things rapidly get dull as shit. I saw no boss fights in any of the 5 levels I played, and wasn't willing to play on to find out if they even exist, and even if they did exist, I very much doubt they would have been epic enough to alleviate the monotony of the rest of the game. Now taking a look at the survival mode, we get the exact same gameplay with a few minor differences. I found that enemies spawned more rapidly and in larger amounts, and I believe you're rewarded with different amounts of points for each enemy. But again there's very little entertainment to be found with this mode, and unlike mission mode, which at least provides a little bit of visual variety with its multiple locations, survival has 1 level, and there isn't even an online leaderboard to compete in, so local bragging rights only with this one. Now, there's very little else to say about Dead Invaders. It's a dull mobile port with very little depth to its gameplay, and all in all it's pretty shy and not worth the £5 I paid for it, nor would I say it's even worth £1 when it undoubtedly goes on sale. If you do want to give this one a go though, you can always try out the free mobile version of it, which rather surprisingly includes an introductory cutscene, which for some reason was left out of the Switch version, though I will say tail your expectations, as the screenshots on the Google Play Store are complete bollocks, and the game looks exactly like the Switch version, and there are also plenty of in-app purchases to put up with. Now, T-Bull has released a load of other shite on the Switch and will undoubtedly release plenty more, probably ports of their other mobile games, so I'll keep an eye out for those and report on them when I can. But for now, do me the honours of dropping this video a like if it helped you out, subscribe for more reviews of both the best and the worst the Switch has to offer, and as always, thanks once again for watching, take care of yourselves, and game on.